Oh wait, what? I thought Dark was a Zerg. I guess Dark's a Protoss. Okay.
Okay, so, all right, well, in the top right, we have a Protoss player that we thought was a Zerg. It is Dark.
All right, and in the bottom right-hand corner, as the orange Terran, we have TerrOr, one of the top 3 foreign Terrans, I would say, and one of the reasonable favorites for BSL6 in its entirety.
Yeah, TerrOr, to be honest, TerrOr's one of my favorite players because he's got really good standard play.
He does.
You have to have standard play to win these days, but he's also got one of the best, mix-ups. He's even beat Larva. Like he had a really sick, like floating factory, but going Marine Medic behind it to take out Larva. So he's really dangerous. You cannot just assume that he's just going to cheese you. You can't just assume he's going to play standard. He'll mix it up very well.
Yep.
So TerrOr, a really big threat to take the whole tournament. Now, this is interesting to me that Dark is Protoss here. This makes me think that he might be a race picker.
Yeah, I guess that is possible. I'm trying to remember from back in the day, but he wasn't ever quite prominent enough to be casting tons of games of him, so I can't remember specifically if he's a pure Protoss or if he does pick races. But that probably will make TerrOr just a little bit more uncomfortable. As for most Terrans, playing against Protoss, particularly in the early game, is not necessarily comfortable.
Yeah, so we are on In the Way of an Eddy. This is always a difficult map for me because you want to gasless expand if you can, but if you do that, a lot of times you're facing a bunch of Dragoons because Protoss players like to get the heavy Dragoon count and just overlook your natural ramp, since this is an inverted ramp. Now Dark here, he's going for 12 Nexus. So he's playing very greedy, and we're going to have to wait and see how's TerrOr's response going to be. Hopefully he scouts first, but the angle this SCV is going, unfortunately, he's not going to get a first scout.
Yeah, we can see where that's headed. Actually, is he going cross? He's going cross. Oh, no, never mind. And it's going to be 12 next, huh? So he's going to have pretty late chance to punish this. Now, when he scouts this third, will he have any opportunity to punish this or not? It's at the right speed, yeah.
Yeah, so TerrOr's not going to scout this. And, he may get there before, like, the factory's, done. But there's not going to be an SCV pull. If he went for an SCV pull, that would be extremely shocking. Normally, when I scout like this, I like to go mines afterwards, because at least you're going to have map control with the mines. You're going to force Protoss to go into a tech that is coming. It's not like they're going to go DTs afterwards, because that would be suicide. So you know that it's going to be robotics. Because of that, you can be pretty sure that no Reaver is going to come, or at least it's going to be delayed. So you'll be able to catch up in supply versus Dark. Also, one thing with 12 Nexus is a lot of times Protoss is in the dark and they have to cut probes. Exactly like what we're seeing here, where Dark is cutting a few probes to make sure that he can get out this fast Zealot. So despite having the fast Nexus, is not going to be as big of a deal.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. There's Marines moving out.
Wow, he is pulling SCVs. So he went cross scouts, and because of that, he does see it. And here comes an SCV and Marine pull. Now, TerrOr has to micro this perfectly, because every time I try this, all my SCVs just glitch out, and they end up just allowing the Zealot to get on top of the Marines, and all my Marines die.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you were just talking about TerrOr's micro, and one thing I will say from TerrOr is he's one of those players you watch, and he just has crisp mouse accuracy at speed. So I'm expecting some decent micro, although the Zealot does already get off a hit here on this first Marine.
Yeah, now you saw those SCVs move far ahead. They actually allowed the Zealot to get onto the back line, but Dark didn't get on top of it, and now this bunker is going to go up.
Yeah,
he's
not even trying to contest it.
Yeah, there's one Zealot, and because of that, the Dragoons are late. This bunker is going to complete, and now this Nexus is probably going to die. Dark also has not started range. Okay, that's because he didn't plan to get range. He's going straight into robotics.
Yeah, you were saying how there might not be Reavers, but at the same time I was thinking, these guys, Dark's one of those, Peruvian players that I think more or less is known for these unorthodox plays, even if they're maybe not technically correct. And it's one of those cases where if you just don't expect it and all of a sudden your opponent does something, even if it objectively might not be the strongest thing, it can throw you off. So we'll see where he's going with this robotics. It might just be at this point to get some mines, though, knowing that the Vulture's going to be laying some.
Oh, Dark barely not getting that Vulture. Every Vulture is so critical because you know that mines are going to be coming out. Mine upgrade is about halfway done. And this is almost, I don't want to call it right now, but this is a very difficult position for Dark. He lost the Nexus, but not only did he lose the Nexus, TerrOr, a lot of times when you're pulling SCVs to stop this, you're pulling upwards of 8, 10 SCVs. He pulled 5.
Yeah,
so he didn't even really hurt his econ that much. So he's skyrocketing. He also
TerrOr's is going to attack. What? Oh my gosh. Okay.
No, he should not attack. He should just sit in this bunker.
I was gonna say, if he goes down the ramp, that would be weird.
It would take an eternity for Protoss to get out.
Actually, you know what? He did this. Yeah, he just wanted to build a lay mines. He wanted a little more real estate, I think, to get those mines down. And now, of course, units will have to be sacked, or he's gonna have to wait for a knob. So it's gonna further delay that expansion.
Yeah, exactly. And now he even killed the Zealot, so the Zealot can't even just, strut up here and clear out the mines.
Yeah.
So this is terrible for Dark. I think he's building an observer, but really I think he needs to get a shuttle, maybe elevator to the right side, because it's just going to take so long for him to get up the ramp. The mines are in a weird position where even one Dragoon, I think, only one Dragoon will be able to shoot the mines, and you're going to have the uphill advantage where they're missing a lot. So it's going to take a long time even to clear the mines, let alone the bunker.
Yep, and this is not like our ASL map where you can just glitch a probe around to an alternate base and just throw a Nexus up right now. But the Obs is out, so this is not going to be crazy delayed, but obviously, I mean, if you look at the timing, it's still going to be way behind TerrOr's CC, and of course, TerrOr already has that second factory, only 2 gateways for Dark, so no real aggressive options here. It's just going to be Dark playing from the back burner.
Yeah, so we have Dark. He's building a shuttle now. It's got to be for Bulldog play. I guess he's waiting for rain to clear out the mines. Do we have an SC? Okay, we do have an SC to repair the bunker. But, I mean, of course, the bunker's going to go down, but regardless, look how long it's taking to just clear these 2 mines out.
Yep.
And now the bunker's still got a perfect position.
Yep.
He might even get a Dragoon. Whoa.
Oh, wow. Dark. Especially if Dark wants to be aggressive. Like, losing units here is a huge deal if you want to be aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, he might. They're so low. That other Dragoon is so low. He's trying to desperately get down this bunker. He will get it now, but yeah, the delay is so
he's losing a lot of health on a lot of Dragoons. He's going to soften up any sort of aggression he wants to do tremendously.
Yeah, and meanwhile, behind this TerrOr, look at his natural. He's got a Rax eBay wall. He's got multiple turrets, so a shuttle bomb play flat out will not work. Now, we have to say that it's only 1 tank. There is a little bit of an opportunity for Dark here, but if he waits even just a few seconds, like what we saw him hesitate on the ramp there, we're going to have 3-5 tanks for TerrOr. The 3 tanks are going to pop out.
This is going to be a scary attack from Dark here with just 1 tank. He hasn't built a bunker. He's not building Marines. Oh, he's got 2 more in the natural. The one good news is he should have seen the shuttle if he was watching when his bunker was killed. That shuttle was just rallied in range of his vision. And I like this. He is setting up with some tanks over to the side, but of course, not as defensive as normally being down there on the low ground.
Yeah, TerrOr's just got great defense. I love his turret line. I love even the tank in the main case. There's an elevator, and it's exactly that. It's going to be an elevator, but he's already ready.
Yeah, although he's going to get on top of at least one of these tanks. Oh, he's going to lose the shuttle. This was very sloppy shuttle control here. So this is going to be easily held, I think, at this point.
So we held at the main. The tanks at the natural. Oh my gosh, the Dragoons are just barely out of range, not getting either of those tanks. So TerrOr held this very easily. Meanwhile, Dark's in desperation mode. He took a double Nexus, but there's a Vulture. He sees there's double Nexus, and because of that, we already have 4 factories going up.
Yeah, and he's lost all these Dragoons for no damage. Like, what response is he going to have to this? I don't think he's going to have anything. He's not teching behind this. It's not like he can surprise or try to delay with DTs or anything. Like, there's just no options.
Yeah, he's got to rebuild all his units. He can't really power. He's going to try and get this Nexus going.
If he even runs in here, look at this concave, though. These tanks are just going to immediately kill 3 Dragoons or something if he even dares to poke in.
Yeah, and TerrOr, like I said, he doesn't necessarily go for 2-1 every game. If he sees a vulnerability, he'll pounce on you, and that's what we're seeing here. We got 5 fact. He's got his armory. He may wait for +1, but I highly doubt it. He knows what an advantage he has.
All right, so this Vulture's going to get cleared out. But of course, TerrOr's seen the Nexus, as you pointed out. Although the Vulture missed a chance to get a probe killer too, TerrOr a little more focused on some base management back at home.
Yeah.
And it looks like TerrOr's going to roll on out here. And there's probably just going to be rallied Vultures from all these factories. Yep.
Yeah,
All right, so
this is
Ghosty
it.
Dark coming down here to meet this, but TerrOr should be pretty well. Actually, no, Ghosty Dark will get up, or not Ghosty Dark, Dark will get up on the high ground.
So we are bleeding out a few vultures here, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We have equaling amount of tanks versus dragoons.
I know, the tanks are on the high ground. Oh, and Dark even tries to fight in there. And what are these Marines? What? I don't even know if that was intended to be a trap, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, so TerrOr's on his victory march. He does have to be a little careful going up the ramp, but not really. He just has so many tanks.
No, he didn't even remake a shuttle. Like, there's just... I don't... TerrOr would have to do some ridiculous level of blunder at this point.
Yeah, and also a lot of these dragoons are softened up. I highlighted all of them, several deep in the red, so their shields are already gone. This is essentially half health dragoons fighting, equaling siege tanks. Dark is going to try and bust through, but there's so many tanks. Vulture's buffering the damage. All the dragoons are going to melt.
All these lines, oh, he's just going to run back, yeah. And TerrOr just advancing forward here. Dark is now stuck into his choke, and without even a shuttle, we know how unpleasant of a position that is as Protoss. It's basically always game losing.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for Dark that he really didn't get his econ going because he's macroing pretty well. He's keeping his resources pretty low. He's got 4 gates. It's not like he can really even support much more. It's just, he's just taking too much economic damage. And as I said, we got vultures going to the third. This Nexus is gone. No way he can save it. And really, what can Dark do? He needs a shuttle. He needs more macro, but he just can't match the macro from TerrOr. TerrOr even has more factories than gateways.
Yeah, and it looks like Ghost Dark is going into Pier's slots, but it's going to be a little while before he has leg speed, and I don't know. I just don't like slots that much in small numbers against pushes. I would rather have more Dragoons, maybe a shuttle to bomb, but I feel like, well, I guess in this case, though, he is in his choke, so he can't spread out his Dragoons.
Yeah, so Dark has that shuttle out. He's setting up a shuttle bomb to try and get on top of these tanks, but he's got to have a miraculous mine drag into a bunch of tanks or something similar to, like, that huge mine drop that we saw in Nostalgia years ago versus Silent Control. Other than that, TerrOr is going to take this game easily. He's just got so much. But here we go, Dark. He's sitting in that shuttle. Dragoons are coming.
Last breath. Shuttle's moving out a little bit slowly. It wasn't at full acceleration, so it's going to go down fairly fast. Tanks are being target fired well, and the Vulture's going to clear out those Zealots nice and quick, and that's going to more or less do it.
Yeah, there's just too much from TerrOr. He's doubling supply at this point. Great mine positioning and tank positioning. They're all spread out everywhere, turrets everywhere, and there is the GG coming out from Dark.
So TerrOr with an incredibly well-judged, efficient bunker rush and a good follow-up to Dark. And then, like I said, I didn't like Dark's control in that little Bulldog attempt. Like, it was kind of a scary move, and I liked the way he just dropped the few Zealots, but the fact that he didn't just go back with the shuttle and he just let the shuttle sit over the turret rather than coming back, maybe ferrying a goon or something over, was just... It was weird play, and then he still ran in even after those Zealots were obviously dying.
Yeah, well, I think Dark just got thrown off. He played a little greedy there. He had 2 gate, but only built 1 Zealot. And luckily for TerrOr, he went for that cross scout. You don't see that often because you don't get oxygated on Eddie in the middle of the map. Yeah. So really a weird scout, but it worked out for him. So unfortunate for Dark. I did like his opener. It was fine, just a little bit too greedy. So let's get into game 2 if we can.
So it looks pretty likely that we'll be seeing Mimu versus TerrOr, and then Dark against Sugo. But let's see if Dark can turn it around. It's not over yet.
Yeah, I think everybody just assumes that TerrOr is going to be up in the winners bracket, but I guess we cannot really judge Dark's skill from the last game because, again, like in the games for Sugo, it just went downhill from the get-go.
Although, concerningly for Dark, even with a late pull from TerrOr, just 5 SCVs was enough to kill the Nexus. So that's a little concerning on the micro front. That doesn't give you comfort as a Protoss when Terran just kind of walks all over you like that.
Yeah, didn't work out for him. So I'm ready for the next game. We are going into circuit breakers for game 2.
All right, let's do it.
Right, so in the top right, we have one of the strongest Terrans in the tournament. He needs one more win to make it to the winner's round. It is TerrOr.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, down 0-1. As our purple Protoss here, we have Dark.
So if I'm TerrOr, I feel like maybe Dark might have realized that kind of it wasn't necessarily he played poorly, it's just nothing went well for him. So because of that, I may expect a 12 Nexus again from Dark. And knowing TerrOr, we could potentially see a BBS. That's what I would be thinking, is I don't really feel like I necessarily outplayed this guy. It's more like, well, I got a free kill on the Nexus and everything went well for me. And if Dark has that mindset where, well, let's try 12 Nexus again, BBS would be a great counter to that.
Yeah, indeed, that would be quite something to see. But of course, we do see a depot, so it won't be that. But it would be something, because we don't see BBS that often in TVP.
Yeah, BBS really all in. You only really see it on maps that are very unforgiving for Terran. So if we go back to previous ASLs, a map like Transistor, that's a pretty difficult map for Terran. Carriers and Reavers just incredible on that map. So a lot of times you saw players going for BBS. Now look at Dark. I just talked about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like TerrOr did anything spectacular. It kind of just was unfortunate for Dark, and we're gonna see another 12 Nexus from Dark.
Yeah, and this time it's cross map for Dark, so he's drawing his favor in that sense. And now I'm curious to see what he wanted to do with this 12 Nexus. Like, obviously he wanted a 12 Nexus, but 12 Nexus in and of itself is not a game plan. Like, there's something you want, there's a deviation you want to go to from 12 Nexus. So I'm curious what Dark wants to do, and I don't really expect it to be like a super macro game from him, so I'm curious to see where he wants to take this. Does he want to go gateway toss? Does he want to do something off of this that's unexpected? Maybe go for some unexpected tech that you wouldn't see? We'll just have to wait and see. Any thoughts? Any predictions?
Yeah, so 12 Nexus, it's always hard to tell because every Protoss player seems to have a different take on 12 Nexus. I play people that go 12 Nexus, and as soon as they see that you've expanded, they take another Nexus. I've had people go straight Reaver. I've had people go all in 2-base. So we're going to have to wait and see, like you said, what's Dark's follow-up going to be. Now this scout pattern from TerrOr, remember last game he scouted horizontally first, and then he went cross-scout. So are we going to have a cross-scout from him this time? If he goes to the left side,
he's going left. It looks like
to the left side. Someone needs to investigate this scouting pattern from TerrOr because he's going to find this 12 Nexus again. And again, we may see a pull. This time it is cross position, so maybe
that's what I'm most curious. Because will he pull cross positions? And of course, he's taking 2 guys off gas, so it looks like just an FD type build from TerrOr here. All right, he sees it. Let's see if there's going to be a response.
Yeah, now, is he going to pull SCVs? A lot of people like to do that. If you're Flash, he pulls every single time because I guess he just does not like 12 Nexus.
Confident.
He's also playing against people that max so fast. So
and let's be honest too, Flash has such good SCV micro. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
There it is. And so this time, remember we pointed out 5 SCVs were pulled last game. This time it is 8. So if TerrOr does not get something done, this is a pretty big economic commitment from him.
Yeah, if this was held by Dark, Dark would be feeling very confident.
Yeah, now Dark this time, I'm checking his gates. This is already worrying me. He's going 12 Nexus and he's blind sending out his Zealot.
Yeah. He's going to run into these Marines. See if TerrOr's paying attention. Yeah, pretty good reaction. Going to pull back here and sees the pain train.
Yeah, the pain train is coming. Now, these SCVs may even be able to block the
bridge. Blocking the bridge. Oh, the Zealot is just going to stay out knowing this is a possibility. Let's see how TerrOr's micro is. But the Vulture here should go down fairly easily. Yeah, all right. No damage there. And there's nothing in the natural yet. One Dragoon spawning, but one Dragoon is not going to stop a bunker. And TerrOr is going to go straight in the main and just drill on top of this Dragoon.
I mean, when you have this many SCVs, they're pretty strong versus Dragoons.
Oh man, there's already probe kills going down, so that's a pretty damn good start. If you can't even save your probes from 12 Nexus, then you take just a devastating hit. And the bunker's obviously going down. I'm surprised he's still fighting here with probes. Incredible economic damage here for Dark.
Yeah, that's
8 or 7 or 8 probes down. TerrOr doesn't lose a single SCV, and I mean, Dark is basically finished, I feel like, at this point.
So this is looking exactly like game 1, where TerrOr does an SCV pull, gets the Nexus. He's going to have mines again. Yeah. The bunker placement is amazing because where it is, he can only get 1 Dragoon down the ramp unless he wants to take crippling damage. So, again, Dark This time, he's got to get a robotics. I feel like, oh, he's going to decide to just go.
Oh, he's just going for super aggression here. It's just not going to work, though. There's like 6 Marines. Well, maybe... Actually, the target firing is really uneven on these Dragoons just by coincidence. But he's already got the Nexus, so...
Yeah, he's got the Nexus. He's trading
He's getting all these Dragoons for just some Marines. Oh, my God.
Oh, that Dragoon is one hit away.
Our mine's done? Yeah, looks like he's going forward with the mines now. So he's going to get some mines down, blocking off this. And you're gonna force these Dragoons.
Oh no!
Oh my God! Oh wow! That was close.
Well, Terror's in a fantastic spot again, and I'm looking at the main of Dark. He just started the robotics, so he can't get out.
This is vastly better. I feel like even than last game though, because last game Dark mostly ran his probes. This time Dark tried to get his probes to fight. They didn't do so very effectively, and he lost. I believe it was 8 or 9 probes. I mean, look at his economy right now. It's like a control group barely.
Yeah, his econ's pretty trash. Terror's got more SCVs than Protoss has probes at this point. So this is even better than last game, and I thought last game was one of the most ideal positions you can possibly be in versus both. Now, Dark, is he going to go for fast observer? I really hope he goes for elevator, because flat out it's just going to take him too long to get across the map if he goes observer. Yeah. At least initially. I think shuttle be first and then observer afterwards. Of course, he's got to worry about mines.
Oh, and look at this mine placement. It's almost like Terror's a little bit suspect of DTs. It's very laid out, staggered, like you would see for a DT pathing.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Sometimes players do that. Despite seeing mines, they build DTs anyway. It's the most tilting thing to lose again.
You're like, I had mines, I had everything. How did this even, what?
Exactly. No, I'm sad because Dark builds an observer first, so he will clear his main, but he's not gonna be able to get out on the map very quickly.
Yeah, I don't like this. As much economic damage as Dark took, I feel like just trying to go into like some sort of even mid-macro game or whatever is not gonna work. I would have just gone for something and hope it worked, and if not, GG'd out.
Yeah, so even though I was talking about going shuttle first, I guess I forgot that the bunker's already gone. So the observer will clear out this field pretty fast. I was remembering Eddie where we were taking an eternity to clear mines and bunkers. So the observer's going to be fine. He's going to get out of here. But again, we've already got 2 FAC done for Terror. This is like identical to last game. Look at the turret placement. We have this turret ring. He's secure everywhere. He's got more tanks this time. He's got 1 extra tank.
Let's see. Is Dark going to make another round of... Or is he actually going to save up and try to make a Nexus? He's already cutting probes too, which is like, I mean, his economy's bad, and cutting probes like this to get his Nexus is hurting it also. But I guess he's going to go ahead and expand. He's going to come across with the Dragoons, but there's not even a shuttle, so, you know, what are you going to do against a wall? And 3 or 4 tanks, 5 tanks probably by the time they get there?
Yeah, he's going to have 5 tanks. If you were to just change the map, like flip the map, the result is identical. We have 5 tanks. We've got this Vulture at the 3rd sitting there, just like last game, so he's going to see double Nexus. If it comes out, oh no, he's decided to sneak by. But Dark smartly has 2 Dragoons in position.
Alright, so just coming up here to the wall. But again, they'll be tanks in position. 2 more will roll into the low ground. Looks like Terror, again, suspicious of that shuttle, probably because he's sitting those tanks back here in the main base, keeping him unsieged.
Yeah, you do have to be worried about Bus, because even though you kill the Nexus, Protoss is on 2-gate for a long time, so they do have a lot of units, but Terror, he just has so much. He's got 2 FAC of his own, he's got 3 FAC. Dark's trying to kill this eBay, but really, Terror doesn't care about this building. You're just repairing. I don't care. Like, I know you're not, dropping on my tanks. I don't have to worry about Reaver or anything. So this is fine.
And again, a lot of Dragoons taking health damage as well. Loses a 1 for absolutely no damage done. Terror just going straight up to 5 FACs. Doesn't even care that there's not another base. He's just going to have a gigantic army. Dark is trying to match this with his own gateways. He's going up to 6 gates, but with the factory count that Terror is going to have, this is not going to worry Terror at all. Yeah,
so supplies are just way in favor of Terror. Dark has a good gateway count. We were going to have 6 versus 5, so that's okay versus 5 FAC. He's already down in units. The main issue is I don't think he has enough probes to support.
Yeah, he doesn't. And certainly not to have 6 gates and expand.
Yeah, so we have the production. We're just not able to produce out of it. And TerrOr, he hasn't even scanned yet, but he's already on 5 factories. He wants to end this game. I don't even see an... Oh, there is an armory. So he's even getting +1 behind it in case this attack fails. But the chances of it failing is very slim.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see where Dark goes. Like, maybe Dark can produce like zealots out of these 6 gateways if he doesn't really make too much other stuff. But the moment he goes to expand, he's going to have to pause production in the vast majority of his gateways.
Yeah, and we even see him cutting probes at the natural. He does have decent saturation there because this is a 7 mineral patch. To have 10, it's not bad. It could be a little better, maybe 12, 13, but he does have decent saturation. He is just pumping units. He knows that it's most likely TerrOr is going to go for the timing, which he is. So he's getting out as many units as possible, trying to see if he's got a shuttle. He does not have a shuttle, but he does have speed coming in pretty soon. It will definitely kick in before TerrOr sets up. But TerrOr has done a really good job specifically only building tanks out of these 2 add-ons that he has, and because of that, he has already 12 tanks.
Yeah, double the Dragoon count. Double the Dragoon count. And there's at least a Vulture per Zealot.
Yeah, for all you Terran players out there, this is what you should do. I know sometimes you're like, oh, I need Vultures, so you start building Vultures out of your factories with add-ons. Unless you're in super desperation mode, don't do that. It's going to limit your tank count, and you're seeing the result of it. To have 12 tanks at this point, this is really great from TerrOr. It's almost unstoppable for Dark.
In that vein, what do you think about, though, building exclusively tanks until you push out, and then when you push out, doing a few rounds of Vultures from all your tanks for faster reinforcements? Because I encounter a lot of Terrans that do that. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Yes, so that's pretty good. The thing is you have
oh no, these Vultures though, the mines are getting mined, they're pinned in. Oh my god. He's just gonna have to run in here, but look at the unit count for TerrOr. Gonna go nowhere for Dark, just getting smashed. No siege victory here.
Yeah, no siege necessary. He just flat out has so many units, even +1 kicking in right now.
This is the worst feeling for Protoss when you just sit here like getting no siege. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, like this was just nothing went well for Dark again. Very similar to the first game. And there is the GG.
All right, so TerrOr in very dominant 2-0 fashion. I guess you could say what I think pretty much everybody was expecting to see. Although, honestly, I was expecting maybe a little bit more opposition from Dark, but I guess when you lose your Nexus like that so easily both times, you know, where are you going to go?
Yeah, it does hurt as Protoss to lose the 12 Nexus. I am surprised that he fought with the probes. If he had kept those probes, talk about if he had 8, all of a sudden we would have had better saturation in the main instead of having 10 at the natural when we actually took it at 15. So maybe he could have gotten his production up. But regardless, TerrOr played very well. Dark a little too greedy, and when you play like that, it's easy to get punished by a great Terran.
And do you agree? Because the general wisdom I hear is that if you go 12 next, because it's not a build I do that often.